I would like to explain how tariffs could raise the price of used vehicles. Tariffs, or taxes on imported goods, can have a big impact on the price of both new and used cars. While they are often used by governments to protect local businesses or part of a trade deal, they can make cars much more expensive for consumers. Here's how tariffs can raise prices in the car market. So what is a tariff? A tariff is a tax that a country adds to goods imported from other countries. When tariffs are placed on items like cars or car parts, the price of those goods goes up. For example, if a country adds a tariff on a car from another country, it makes those cars more expensive to buy, obviously. But this can also impact the price of cars made in the country that are also using imported parts whose prices could increase as well. So how do tariffs affect new car prices? When a government imposes tariffs on new cars, it increases the cost for car manufacturers. So to cover these higher costs, car companies usually raise the price of their vehicles. For example, if the U.S. places a tariff on foreign cars, it increases the cost of making cars, especially cars with imported parts, which means consumers will likely pay more for new vehicles. If a new car becomes more expensive because of tariffs, then a lot of buyers will look to the used car market instead, since they're obviously going to be a little more affordable. Well, this increased demand for used cars normally drives their prices up as well. And since there are more buyers competing for a smaller supply of vehicles, then the price of used vehicles go up. And it could also lead to fewer used cars available, because when the price of used cars goes up, then there can be less used cars to buy. So many people, obviously trade in their old vehicles when they're buying a new one, and these trade-ins end up in the used car market. And if people can afford new cars because of higher prices, then they are going to not buy that vehicle, and then fewer trade-ins will be available. With less supply and more demand, the price of used vehicles can rise dramatically. Additionally, there can be supply chain issues, like the shortage of computer chips in cars. That can make it harder to produce new vehicles. If fewer new cars are made, it makes the used car market even more competitive, pushing prices even higher. It can also have an impact on car parts and repairs. Tariffs don't only affect the price of new cars, they can also affect the cost of car parts. Many cars, both new and used, are made with parts from other countries. If tariffs increase the price of those parts, repair shops are going to have to charge more to fix vehicles, and this can make it much more expensive to maintain a used car, which can push more people to buy a new vehicle. And again, this is going to drive up demand in the new car and the used car market, causing prices to rise. So how do tariffs and global supply problems are connected? Tariffs can also make problems with the global supply chain even worse. For example, a shortage of parts or materials is already causing car production to slow down. Adding tariffs can make things much worse. The less cars are made, the fewer used cars will be available, leading to higher prices. The bottom line, tariffs can make both new and used cars more expensive to buy. The increased production cost for new cars reduces the number of used cars available, and that can raise the price of car parts and repairs. All of these factors can combine to make cars more expensive for consumers. So tariffs might be used to protect local businesses or achieve political goals, but they can also have the unintended consequence of making cars harder to afford for your everyday customers. I hope you found this information beneficial. My website is dealerslicense.com. I've got a lot of great information on there for you. If you're starting out getting your dealer's license, or maybe you're a licensed dealer, my goal is to help you maintain compliance, because as long as you're maintaining compliance, you'll always keep your dealer's license for many, many years. And we've also got a bond quoting system there, so hopefully you'll consider running your bond quote through the dealerslicense.com website. We will send your bond quote to the appropriate carrier based on your credit score, and we work with over 30 bond carriers, so you should be able to get a bond quote in a few seconds. And by purchasing your bond through the dealerslicense.com website, that certainly supports this channel and allows you to view this content. So I hope you are finding this information very beneficial.